All right, GeoMasters. Let's chat about the weather puppeteers behind South Africa's infamous Berg winds. But before we get to the hot, dry drama, let's quickly detour to the low-pressure systems that influence South Africa's weather and climate. First up, it's the thermal low, the summer's diva, forms over the Karoo when the ground bakes like a fat coke in oil. Hot air rises, leaving a low-pressure void that sucks in moisture. But in winter, it's just a background actor, non-existent. There's also the cutoff low, the wild card. A lone low-pressure system that breaks free from the mid-latitude cyclone, blocked and stuck in between South Atlantic High and South Indian High, drifting north like a lost tourist. Brings prolonged floods to the Cape in winter. Because why not add chaos to the mix? Lastly, there's the coastal low, winter's mischief maker. Hovers off Namibia, spinning clockwise and moving southeasterly like a toddler in a tantrum. Sucks air toward the coast, creating a vacuum that pulls cold interior air downhill towards the coastal regions. Now, back to the business of the day. When winter hits, the Kalahari High parks and dominated over the interior, hoarding cold air like a dragon with gold. Then the other key player involved in Berg winds is the coastal low, which cranks up the pressure gradient. So you got a high pressure on the interior of the plateau and the low pressure on the coast. Air always moves from a region of high pressure to a region of low pressure. So cold air moves downhill, compresses, and heats up adiabatically. Imagine squeezing a bicycle pump until it's hot enough to fry an egg. Berg winds, SA's pyromaniac, they suck moisture from plants faster than your ex moving on after breakup. Veld becomes kindling. Temperatures hit 40 degrees Celsius plus, hot enough to ignite dry grass from a stray braai spark. Flames race faster than a minibus taxi. Berg winds turned a campfire into a 5 billion rand inferno in Eastern Cape. Homes, forests, lives, gone in a blaze. Let's explore these impacts. Health impacts, when the wind gets personal. Berg winds aren't just hot air, they're health hijackers. Take Durban in 2019. ERs saw a 30% spike in asthma cases. Imagine kids gasping like fish out of water. Then there's the Eastern Cape heatwave of 2020. Farm laborers collapsed like wilted spinach, 50 plus hospitalized for heat stroke. And grannies in George? Clinics reported a 25% rise in heart issues during 2022's Berg winds. Why? Heat turns blood thicker than pap, stressing hearts. Bottom line, Berg winds don't just blow, they break. Agriculture, farming on a knife's edge. 5,000 chickens in Port Alfred 2020 dropped dead mid-peck. Berg winds turned farms into ovens. Western Cape grapes. 2018's winds shriveled vines into raisins, costing 12 million rand. And Karoo cattle? They lost 15% body weight in 2021. Heat stress made grazing feel like a desert marathon. Small-scale farmers? They're stuck. No insurance, no mercy. It's like Mother Nature handed them a braai grill and lit it under their livelihoods. Economy. Cash goes up in smoke. Richards Bay's port expansion, delayed 3 weeks in 2023, workers melted like ice cream in the heat. Table Mountain's hiking trails, closed during 2019's winds costing 5 million rands. And Knysna's small businesses? Post-2017 fires, insurance premiums jumped to staggering 30%. Imagine paying that for a cafe that smells like burnt toast. Tourism? Let's just say charred landscapes don't make great Instagram backdrops. Lastly, the impacts on the environment, nature's revenge. Berg wines team up with invasive Aussie wattles, like arming a pyromaniac. 2021's Overberg fires? Wattles burned hotter than hell. Post-fire, the Kogelberg biosphere's soil washed away in landslide, stripping 10,000 hectares. Nature's skin peeled off. And Neisna's estuary? Ash turned it into a fish graveyard. Lesson: Berg wines don't just burn, they scar. The Fight Back, SA versus the Inferno. Meet the heroes, working on fire's 5,000 firefighters, gladiators with hoses. And Cape Nature's Fire Smart program, controlled burns that starve fires before they feast. Farmers dig fire breaks, towns ban reckless braais. But let's be real. Until we tackle invasive plants and climate apathy, we're just slapping band-aids on bullet wounds. Ever wonder why Johannesburg shivers while Pretoria sweats in the same province? Or how frost creeps into the Drakensberg like a ninja while the Hex River Valley roasts like a Sunday braai? Next up, valley climates, where mountains play weather DJ, remixing temperatures. Your next hike might need sunscreen and a jacket. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, or stay as confused as a springbok in a snowstorm.